Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, the new Human Organ and Tissue Donation Act was recently announced in Canada. At this stage, it will only take effect in Nova Scotia, starting from this January 18th, 2021, after 10 days. No other province nor state in North America has ever enacted such legislation. As such, it is important not to rush to conclusions about it. In this video, I'll try my best to cover the main points regarding this unprecedented legislation. The first question I want to answer is, what exactly will change after January the 18th? When this act takes effect, all deceased Nova Scotians over the age of 19 will be assumed organ and tissue donors by default, unless they have opted out. This is referred to as deemed consent. A person may opt out from donating his organs and tissues fully or partially by recording their consent or refusal with the Ministry of Health. This refusal or consent may be registered for all organs and tissues, or may specify which organs and tissues a person is consenting to donate. A person may also choose to put forward some restrictions as well. It is important to know that there is no deadline to opt out from this program. You may opt out at any time or amend your consent at any time, even after January the 18th. Not only that, in the event of death, the family will still have the right to provide information about the wishes of the deceased in the case that their wishes are different from the deemed consent or the recorded consent. So, what does this act cover? It is very important to know that in this new act, the deemed consent does not only cover human organs, but it also covers the human tissue, such as skin, bone, tendons, etc. So, does this mean that they will take all that from every donor in Nova Scotia? The simple answer to this is no. Physician will determine which organs and tissues will be taken based on different factors. The first factor is according to the condition of the organs and tissues of the deceased. They also take into account the wait list and the recipients registered in the wait list. Based on these factors and others, there may be no need for your donation at all. Another important question I wanted to cover as well, how would the body look like after donating tissues in particular, such as skin and bones? Will ghusl and janazah prayer will be possible after this process? In our meeting with the medical officers supervising the program in Nova Scotia and also in Canada, we requested more information to be able to properly answer this question. We hope, inshallah, to be able to address these concerns in our next video in a week's time from now, inshallah. Another important question: does this act apply only to organs needed to save lives? This act, brothers and sisters, applies to the organs and tissues necessary to save lives, as well as the donation of organs needed to improve the quality of life of the patients in the wait list. When does the process of organ transplant begin? This is a very important question, brothers and sisters, to understand the process, and also is very important question to understand the ruling in Islam of organ transplant. Brothers and sisters, medically, two processes are being followed in declaring death. The first is called heart death, referred to medically as cardiocirculatory determination of death, CDD. The deemed consent in this new act does not follow heart death, brothers and sisters. According to the act, the process of organ transplant begins after brain death, and this is referred to medically as the NDD, or neurological determination of death. Physicians confirm that it is impossible for a patient to return to life after declared death or neurologically dead. It is important to know that at this stage, some symptoms of life might be there, might still be there, such as a heartbeat, a normal temperature of the body, and breathing as well, as long as the patient on the ventilator. This makes it difficult to some to accept the initiation of organ transplant in this situation. So, that being said, brothers and sisters, a question might arise: do we have reported cases that patients returned to life after declared neurologically dead? Yes. So what is the reason for this? Physicians confirm that the reason is due to human error and false diagnosis. Therefore, these cases do not really prove that a person may return to life after being declared neurologically dead. What are the measures taken by health authorities to minimize such errors? Some measures have been announced in the Act and delivered by the physicians supervising this program as well. One of these measures is the ICU physicians responsible for the treatment and care of the patients are the ones who declare a person neurologically dead. Those physicians will not be part of the organ donation program. Their responsibility is to try their best to save their patient's life. So, that being said, the treatment team is separate from the organ donation team. Also, 2 physicians are needed to declare a patient neurologically dead after completing the tests and following the policies and procedures. After sharing this important information with you, what is the ruling of Islam regarding organ donation? Brothers and sisters, this video is not meant to answer this question at this time, as we do not have all the information needed to decide and to share the proper answer from an Islamic perspective. However, generally speaking, organ donation is permissible in Islam according to the majority of scholars, with some restrictions. Inshallah, we will elaborate on this in detail in the next video, inshallah ta'ala. At the moment, And in the last couple weeks, we have been meeting medical officers supervising the organ donation program in Nova Scotia and in Canada to gather this information needed to help make an informed decision. We have also been trying to engage the Muslim physicians in the region who can assist in gathering this information. As soon as we have this information ready, we will reach out to fiqh councils in Canada and international fiqh councils and to our esteemed scholars to get their perspective about this topic, owing to the complexity of the subject and the novelty of this law. Last question, which is very important to the residents of Nova Scotia. What should a resident of Nova Scotia do? First of all, make sure not to share misleading information about this sensitive new program as this affects lives. Keep in mind that we as Muslims have many patients on the organ donation program waiting to receive organs. And finally, do not rush a decision regarding this complex matter until you gather all the information to reach an informed decision. Only then you can opt out or not. Thank you and Jazakumullahu khairan.